Attack on Titan, one of the greatest anime of all time, and the reason why you clicked this video. In this video, we'll be talking about the lore, the theories, and the memes that make up the Attack on Titan universe, from most known to lesser known, in the form of an iceberg. Because, well, icebergs are pretty big. In the description below is a timeline of everything, so you can skip around to whatever parts of the video you like. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, it's free, and let's jump in. Potato Girl is a nickname for Sacha after a scene where she gets reprimanded by her drill instructor for eating a potato during roll call. This meme became really popular in 2013 after the release of the anime, and to this day there's been numerous fanfiction based on Sacha's relationship with the potato. But the most up thing is, she didn't even split the potato in half. Like, she gave 1/4 of the potato to the instructor. Okay, maybe like 2/5, but not half. Like, she lied. She straight up lied. That scum islander piece of... The meme that Jean is a horse came from when Eren called Jean a horse when they were fighting in the cafeteria, and the internet has completely massacred him ever since. I guess you could say they were horsing around. Now, I feel some type of way about this because Jean is a really good character in my opinion, but as long as Isayama doesn't put him in a shirt in the next few chapters, I'm fine with the banter. Since the beginning of the anime, Eren has always been shipped with Mikasa. In the canon, Eren literally ignores Mikasa the entire time while every other character seems to have yellow fever, but the extent at which the EreMika shippers go to make their dreams come true is absolutely insane. Take this for example. There's a theory not too long ago about Eren's veins popping out when he saw Mikasa in the Warhammer Titan fight, and that was the reason as to why they would end up together. But Isayama has insisted on interviews that the relationship between them is that of a brother and sister, so I guess that puts an end to the fan theories. For now. When Attack on Titan was getting big and people were getting more into the manga, I guess some people on Tumblr were confused as to why Hange was referred to as Sir in the manga instead of a she, and assumed that she was transgender. In turn, a lot of the primetime Tumblr bloggers immediately praised Isayama for his inclusion of all genders in the spectrum on Attack on Titan, calling him a true patriot in diversity. And then when he introduced Onyakapon, Petra was a character that was introduced as a member of the original Levi squad before they got decimated by the female Titan. Apparently there were other members in the Levi squad, but I personally can't remember for the life of me, I don't know why. But after her introduction, the fans have actually speculated that Levi and Petra were actually massing pissers in the laundry room, and there's a lot of evidence to back it up. One is that she's the only girl in the squad. That's pretty much it. The Timeloop Theory goes like this. Eren has been trying to end the cycle of hatred over and over again by committing genocide on the rest of the world. Each time he fails, he resets the time loop again 2,000 years into the past, hence the first chapter is called To You 2,000 Years From Now, and this current timeline is supposed to be the final timeline where everyththing ends and Eren is able to decimate the rest of the world. However, this theory is more than likely incorrect. The flash before the eyes that Eren gets at the beginning of the series is presumably a message from Ymir Fritz, who obtained her Titan powers exactly 2,000 years before Eren's term with the power ends and he inevitably dies. Now, Eren Kruger is probably one of the greatest characters to never see screen time. The way he threw his cap in his introduction doesn't compare to any of Levi's exaggerated swagger, but one of the biggest questions asked is, how did he get the Attack Titan? I'm pretty sure this backstory will never be resolved in the actual manga, but an OVA or a small manga like Lost Girls or Before the Fall will do him justice. In season 2 of the anime, when Connie's village gets cucked by Zeke's ability to turn people into Titans, there's a scene where Connie's mom in her Titan form speaks to Connie. It seems unclear at first if Connie was just smoking crack or not, but the fact of the matter is that in very small situations, mindless Titans are able to communicate with humans. Another case of this is in a canon OVA called Ilsa's Notebook, where Ilsa, a member of the Survey Corps, meets a Titan that physically hurts itself, as well as speak, saying Ymir. It's later established that this Titan was actually a follower of Ymir before she was turned into a Titan 60 years ago, and the reason that the Titan spoke to Ilsa is because Ilsa and Ymir look very similar. I mean, she still gets her head bit off, but that's not the point. The point is that Titans, under very small circumstances, when meeting people of significance in their human form, will gain the ability to communicate with them. There seems to be a misconception among the fanbase that says that Sacha was supposed to die when she saved the little girl from the farm, but the editor started spontaneously crying, so Isayama changed it. Talk about a Reiner moment, am I right? However, this isn't the actual case. Isayama actually wasn't sure if killing Sacha off was the right call there, so he changed the original storyboard where he was going to kill her and actually made her live, which made the editor jokingly start crying. In my opinion, this is 100% the better move, because when Sacha gets killed by Gabby in the Marley raid, a few chapters later an absolutely insane face-off between Gabby and the girls she saved comes into fruition. Paths is basically the ikigai of the Attack on Titan series, and it's kind of become a meme of the show. Some fans thought that paths was a lazy concept because every unanswered plot hole in the show just was answered through paths. Like, where do Titans come from? Paths. How do Titan shifters share memories? Paths. Why isn't Reiner dead already? Just end his misery? Paths. I guess people wanted a 5-head in-depth research paper PhD analysis, and they were disappointed that paths just seemingly answered every question in Attack on Titan, even though I don't think it's that serious. To commemorate the release of every volume in Attack on Titan, a fake volume preview is installed at the end of every volume. Usually it's just one-pager memes and funny stuff that kind of acts as fan service, but a fake preview in 2014 absolutely almost ended me. It's basically Eren waking up from a dream. I think if a blind person was cured of their blindness and the first image they saw was this, they would continue to projectile gouge their eyes out because that's how horrifying this image is. It's not really a part of the lore, but it's a funny sequence by the author himself. If you want to check out the rest, which are also pretty funny as well, the link is in the description below. Back when nobody knew anything about the Titans in Attack on Titan, this was around 2013 or so, Game Theory made a video on Titans being made from yeast. They argued that the properties of yeast, like it being able to last a long time without nutrition and it not requiring sunlight to grow, means that Titans actually are made of yeast. There's also a panel in Attack on Titan that actually talks about the growth of yeast, and for a while this theory was actually pretty reputable. But like, if this turned out to be true, I don't know how to feel about it, because then the biggest fear of humanity is the key ingredient for pizza. Reiner's sole goal after his infiltration of paradise is to just, well, die. He's tried to off himself so many times in the series, but is always saved by the deus ex machina that is Hajime Isayama. I think it's become so comical at this point because Reiner just won't die that there's literal subreddits just mocking his existence. So that leads us to the question, at the end of the series, will Reiner die, or will he find out some type of way to survive his 13-year-old tenor? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. In a scene in season 3, there's a shot of Frieda looking at the mirror as if she saw a demon. This is an interesting detail, and a lot of people have said that Eren is actually who she saw in the mirror, because in a later chapter, Eren is seen looking at a mirror saying fight. This is pretty significant to the story because according to the rules of paths, Eren shouldn't be able to be physically seen in another shifter's memories through paths, especially if the shifter isn't the Attack Titan. But a fan theory was made that was really popular that said if you possess the Attack Titan and other Titans as well, you can send future memories to all the previous shifter of all the Titan powers you possess. So when Eren was looking at the mirror saying fight, he's basically sending a paths vlog to the Titan shifters of the past, and that's why they can see him. Since memories are only transferred through what someone sees, if Eren is looking at the mirror and sees his reflection, the people that receive his memories can also see him as well. There's also a scene in the manga of Willy Tyber's younger sister who had the Warhammer Titan powers staring at the mirror, and since Eren eventually eats her and takes her power, he could have sent a past vlog to her in the past as well, manipulating a lot of things in the series. However, the only thing that has been confirmed in the series is that Eren has the ability to send memories to past Attack Titans and Attack Titans only. He sent fractions of memories to Grisha, and he sent fractions of memories to Eren Kruger, and that's the only thing that's confirmed at the moment. Ragnarok is a series of events described in Norse mythology that will basically lead to the end of the world, where gods will band together to fight against the giants in a final battle that will ultimately destroy the entire planet, submerging it all underwater. And after that, the surviving gods would repopulate the world with 2 human survivors, restarting civilization. Fans have theorized that this is the story that Attack on Titan is based off, and with the manga almost ending with a lot of the key points in both stories colliding, this may be the most accurate fan theory. Basically, the theory goes that Ymir Fritz, the original possessor of the Founding Titan, sent a message to Eren in the first chapter, and that's why the chapter is called To You 2000 Years From Now. Ymir, wanting to be freed from the past dimension after her death, manipulated every event in Attack on Titan, like how she led Ymir to Historia, saved Zeke's life, and didn't let Bertolt get eaten when he transformed and destroyed Shina's wall. She manipulated the timeline in order to reincarnate herself after the Ragnarok, which is basically the rumbling in Attack on Titan. After the rumbling, which would bring about the apocalypse because, well, the rest of the world is dead, a new world will form in paradise, and Ymir will be reincarnated through Historia's baby. Isayama actually showed a picture of the final panel of the final chapter of Attack on Titan. The man says, "You're free." The fan theories came coming in, but the most popular one is that it's Eren talking to Ymir Fritz incarnation because it's his baby. Now this theory actually goes beyond the Shadow Realm. Basically, since Eren has the ability to see the future after slappy topping Historia's hand, some absurd fans speculated that future Eren, in order to fuel his younger self's hate for humanity and make him go through with the genocide of the rest of the world, controlled Dina Fritz Titan to kill his mom. This theory is absolutely insane, but I think this would ruin the whole point of the story. If Eren was pulling strings the whole time, he obviously would have thought of a way better plan than killing his whole family to see water. And there's a lot of people that seems to have a misconception about the time travel in this show. Attack on Titan has a fixed timeline, so even if you go back to the past and try to change something, whatever you change won't mean anything because the future will still turn out the way it's supposed to be. Here's an example. Let's say if you go back in time to kill baby Hitler and replace him with another baby, that baby you replace will actually go on to become Hitler and nothing would change when you go back. That's pretty much what's going on here. Now, one of the biggest lingering questions in Attack on Titan for a long time has been who impregnated Historia. It was originally mentioned that an NPC farmer gave the seed to bear Historia's child, and a lot of the fanbase believe it's Eren. The reason is because the NPC farmer, even though he juiced Historia, the queen of Eldia herself, is still unnamed and unseen, and they're not even married, which would make no sense unless it's an important revelation in the future of the series. And looking at the final panel of the manga, which is presumably Eren holding the baby, it's safe to assume that child is Historia's, and the father may be Eren. The baby in question has very similar eyebrows to Eren, and Eren has expressed himself that he didn't want to sacrifice Historia, and maybe putting a baby in her saved that pipe dream. Get it? Pipe dream. Pipe dream. Some people have also said that it's Flock because the panels that the NPC farmer is in actually looks like Flock's silhouette, but at this point it's unconclusive, and when I do the part 2 of the Iceberg in April after the conclusion of the series, that's when we will know. But at this point, anything is possible, including Flock. Now, the Fibonacci sequence is considered to be the absolute golden ratio for any type of aesthetic pleasure that we see in nature. Famous brands from around the world have dissected and researched the Fibonacci sequence in order to find the perfect aesthetic and logo, but nobody has ever perfected it until now. In a panel in Attack on Titan, the audience is shown an image that is so perfect that it defies the previous conventions of the golden ratio, and that is Pieck's ass. Pieck's ass not only hits every key point of the Fibonacci sequence, but bends and warps it in a way that it has become the Fibonacci sequence on its own. In other words, she's mathematically thick. In the Wikipedia page, the Fibonacci sequence was actually scuffed and changed to Pieck's ass because that represents the golden ratio way better than this stupid equation could ever do. Unless...